Hi, I'm Dr. Whit Jones, author of American Literature, English professor at Bryan College, where I've taught for 24 years, husband of Amy and father of 4 children whom we have homeschooled, and lover of the ways that literature relates to our lives and our walk with Christ. The American literature text is presented from a biblical worldview, a Christian worldview, and that worldview is the most complex, the most paradoxical. The Christian worldview says that we're made in the image of God, and yet we're also broken, we're also fallen. The best literature is paradoxical, and even though many writers that are in the American Lit book are not Christian, a number are, but some are not, I wanted to teach students how to make really discerning judgments about literature and see the great truth that is there. And one of the nice things about that truth is because it's dramatized, because it's fleshed out in story and image and character, the truth is really brought home to your heart, and the truth is made memorable, and you're having fun while you're learning the truth. I wanted them, where there was untruth in literature, to learn how to make discerning judgments of that lack of truth. And in so doing, they're really learning how to make judgments of every part of their lives, since literature is such a reflection of life. This course could be for 10th, 11th, or 12th graders, but I was thinking mainly 10th or 11th graders. It is a year-long course. The 18 chapters are designed to be done 2 weeks per chapter, and so it definitely carries the student and the parent through the whole year of American literature. That year, the student can get both a literature credit and a writing credit for the course. I think a student could, in completing the American Literature course, could get both a writing credit and a literature credit. So students will do a lot of writing in the course, as well as in-depth reading. And it can be an honors level course, but it can also be scaled down easily for a student who's more average in literature. No, there really are not prerequisites. I guess I'm assuming some level of experience with lower level literature and a bit of experience in knowing how to answer questions, but no, there are no definite prerequisites for this course. The prep time needed for students is the time, and for their parents, is the amount of time that it would be required for a regular high school course. Some help from the parent is a good idea, but the book is meant to be fairly standalone in that if a capable student who works through questions and answers should be able to learn a great deal on its own. There is a textbook itself that has the introduction to the study of literature that I've written, introductions to periods like the colonial period, the Age of Reason, the Romantic Age, the Age of Realism, the Modern Age, and introductions to the lives of the authors so that students can see something of where these stories and poems and plays came from. And then there is the work itself, often footnoted where there are difficult words, particularly in the early American period when the vocabulary was more formal, and footnotes also explaining geographic references or historical references that the students might not get on their own. And then there are the questions and answers. To keep the price of the text down, for some of the later works for which we would have had to pay copyright fees, we have just included the introduction to the author, a little background on the work, and the questions and answers. And the work itself is left out, but these are all works that can easily be found online, poems that can be found easily online, and the questions are key to the line numbers of the poems. There are 4 novels that I ask people to buy. Huckleberry Finn, The Great Gatsby, To Kill a Mockingbird, and The Old Man and the Sea. And one full-length play I asked them to buy, Lorraine Hansberry's A Raisin in the Sun. And the questions and answers are keyed to the chapters or the acts of those works. And they, again, are classic works. They are easily found. And so I don't think the students will have any trouble finding any of the works. It's fine for students to do just the even questions or just the odd questions. And in our material, we reassure parents that they can do that. Or parents can read through the questions and pick a subset of them. The questions are meant to promote student engagement with the text and deep thinking about the text, and final understanding of what the text means, how it relates to the truth of life. And that can be accomplished without doing every one of the questions. Parents are encouraged to have a lot of freedom in how many questions they assign. There are enough questions that a top student who is very motivated, who wants to be an honor student in literature, can be really challenged, but then the questions can be scaled down for students who are not as talented at literature or as deeply engaged with it.
American Literature by Whit Jones, with textbook, student notebook, and online answer key. Order today at apologia.com.